Let me greet the office of the Premier, led by the Chief of Staff, the head of the department, Mr. Peters, the Provincial Commissioner, General Otola, representatives of our unions, the entire senior management of SAPS, the representative of the CPFs, the office of the MEC, and the media houses who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me once more, good morning, let me once more convey the apology of the Honorable Premier, who is not well, and we wish him well, that he must recover soon. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Lucy.
On behalf of the Premier of the Northern Cape, let me thank the management of the South African Police Services led by the Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Koloi for the detailed presentation of the third quarter crime stats for the 2025-2026, which was just delivered. These stats provide crucial indicators of where we need to improve to ensure we serve and protect the people of the Northern Cape more effectively. The crime stats for this quarter of the financial year reveals a complex security landscape in the Northern Cape. There has been a general decline in certain categories of contact crimes, and across our 5 districts, decreases have been recorded in 3 districts, namely Namakwa, Pixley, and ZFM. This data provides a clear indication of where we need to intensify our effort and deploy additional resources. At the same time, crime has increased in the Francis Park and Johntown and Haitui districts. We cannot ignore the troubling increase in the most serious and violent offences. Attempted murder has risen sharply by 18.4%, while murder itself has increased by 2.8%. Behind these numbers are lives lost and communities left in fear. What is particularly worrying, Provincial Commissioner, is that many of these acts of violence stem from everyday conflicts, arguments, misunderstandings, and provocations. I want to commend the South African Police Services for the work they are doing to remove dangerous weapons from our streets and to clamp down on illegal shebeens and taverns. This tells us that violence is not only a policing issue, but it's also a societal crisis. We need to ensure that multi-sectoral teams intensify their work. Equally concerning are the emerging trends placing increasing pressure on our law enforcement agencies. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs has surged by 61.5%, while the drug-related crimes have risen by 27.4%. These are catalysts for broader criminal activity and social harm. The rise in kidnapping by 16.3%, often linked to human trafficking, signal of disturbing shift towards more organized and predatory crimes. At the same time, commercial crime continues to grow, undermining economic stability and investor confidence. Provincial Commissioner, perhaps the most painful reality revealed in this report is the ongoing violence against women and children. Violence that is most often perpetrated in the very space where people should feel safe, their homes. While overall sexual offences have declined slightly, incidents of sexual assault and attempted sexual offences have increased. The home remains the primary location for rape, murder, and grievous bodily harm. This is a crisis of conscience. Domestic violence continues to devastate families, with dozens of murders and rapes identified as domestic-related during this reporting period alone. These incidents form part of persistent and deeply rooted patterns of abuse. We will need to convene different sectors of society to help us deal with this more effectively. We say in the Northern Cape, to fight crime, we need a chain reaction to make sure everyone is involved, to make sure we keep the Northern Cape safe. The Inter-Ministerial Committee on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide, which have been established, will need to engage proactively with the different sectors of society. We are equally disturbed by incidents occurring within educational institutions. Schools and places of learning must be sanctuaries of growth and protection. Yet we have recorded cases of rape within these environments, in some instances perpetrated by fellow learners. This is unacceptable and demands urgent, coordinated interventions. As a provincial government, together with the South African Police Services, we need to intensify targeted policing operations, particularly in high-risk areas and during high-risk times. We will strengthen partnership with communities, recognizing that crime prevention begins at the level of local government. We will expand programs aimed at conflict resolutions, substance abuse prevention, and social cohesion in order to address the root cause of violence before they escalate. We will also reinforce our response to gender-based violence by improving support services for victims, strengthening the capacity of specialized units, and ensuring that perpetrators are brought to justice swiftly and decisively. In our schools, through the Department of Education, we will work closely with the education sector to enhance safety measures, provide counseling services, and promote respect, accountability, and non-violence among our youth. The report for this quarter once again shows that the fight against crime is not one the government can win alone. It requires the active participation of every citizen in the Northern Cape, every community and every institution. We must rebuild a culture that rejects violence, values human lives, and resolve conflict through our dialogue rather than force. I wish to express my appreciation to the men and women in blue who have dedicated their lives to fight against crime, and I implore them to remain committed and loyal to their call of duty. We also call upon them to show zero tolerance for all types of crimes, and they must do their work without fear or favor. As the Provincial Commissioners have highlighted in her remarks, that alcohol is one of the main contributors when it comes to all these social ills in our communities. We have to look into the issue of the laws when it comes to liquor, and also the trading hours. But as provinces, we have to engage with the Ministry of Economic Development to see how we can really curb those hours of selling liquor in our province. Like you highlighted, Provincial Commissioner, that there are successes in the province in terms of arrests and convictions, and we really want to applaud the justice system of the Northern Cape for really attending to these crimes. We can also be proud as a province to say that in all the different categories of crimes, We are not in the top 30 of the country as the Northern Cape, and it shows to all of us that the work that the men and women in blue is doing under the leadership of General Ortola. We are also, as a department of GTSL, busy with outreach programs to prevent crime. And I must highlight it here, General, to say that we managed to go to one of our districts, which is one of the districts that constantly appear red in the crime states, which is JTG, where we managed to divert a certain group of young people who was involved in crime to a soccer team or a soccer club, and we are busy continue with the crime prevention strategy of the province, and it really bears fruit. Lastly, I wish to convey my heartfelt sympathy and condolences to each and every family that has lost a loved one because of acts of violence in our province, as well as those who have fallen victims to crime in our province. I commit to clamping down on perpetrators. We will not allow such a space to exist. Let me take this opportunity really to thank the General and your entire team in the province for really taking that extra mile and make sure that we clean the streets of the Northern Cape. Let me also thank the Office of the Premier in his absence for their continuous support. We really have a vigilant Premier in the province who is very supportive of all of his members of executive, and we really want to take this opportunity to thank our Premier. Let me also thank the HOD and your entire team of the Department of Transport Safety and Liason in the province, and for the continuous support, HOD, to the men and women in blue in the province. We really appreciate your effort in the administration. Let me also thank the media houses who are here, the CPFs, and all stakeholders that deals with law enforcement in our province, everyone here, and we call upon the people of the Northern Cape to work together with the provincial government and the police in the province to make sure that we fight crime and we curb the issue of gender-based violence, which is declared as a disaster by our Honorable President of the Republic of South Africa. And let us take hands, join hands, and make sure that we clean the Northern Cape from any form of crime.